Before I start this review, I want to show you something. Remember that I said that I commissioned an art in my latest anime convention, Liberty City Anime Con? Well, it's finally here, and I want to show it to you. See? I got Carrot from One Piece and Mila Bassett from Freedom Planet all joined up together in one poster. Well, maybe she should have got me. She should have charged me for 3 characters because, well, she added Mr. Stumpy. I really like it. So for the artist Nina Yoshida, thank you. I really enjoyed this poster. So I'll find a place to hang it on my wall. But okay, let's get to business now. So what movie did I saw this week? The Predator. This is gonna be something to talk about. Remember that I said, no, I said that only in my Facebook videos, that I'm not kind of like the huge fan of the Alien movies. I'm not also with the Predator, but I still know a little bit of the basics to at least get an understanding about those movies. To give you a little bit of a summary of all of the Predator movies that I just saw. I did saw the original Schwarzenegger film with Schwarzenegger. That was awesome. I really loved that movie. The second one I only saw in parts. I thought it was cheesy, but it is good for a popcorn flick. What else there was? I did saw Alien vs. Predator and Alien vs. Predator 2 Requiem. I do understand why people are kind of disappointed. Although I probably might defend it by saying that, yeah, it's stupid fun. I probably that. Maybe because I kind of like some of the elements of Alien vs. Predator 2. Mostly because I think that the girlfriend kind of died, and this is some kind of at the time I thought that was kind of like a ballsy move in storytelling. I remember that I saw also the movie Predators, the one that has Adrian Brody. I don't remember much about this movie, but I think I liked it okay. I thought it was pretty decent enough. But then we got this movie right now, The Predator. I was like, okay, fine by me. I still think that they should have released that movie during the summer. Because once I saw this movie, I think that this is probably one of the stupidest movies that have ever been. And congratulations. You outstupid yourself beyond the Meg. But is that a bad thing? Let's put this into perspective. I like this movie better than Alien Covenant. And that is saying something, because for all the stupid things that this movie has, I at least came out entertained. So that brings out the question. Is it okay to enjoy a very stupid, messy, really rushed film? And I came out kind of puzzled about it. There are some things that I like. There are a lot of things that I dislike. But still, the correct word for this is that it's stupid to the point that it's almost incompetent. But still playing some good cards in it. So this is gonna be a little bit of a tough one to talk about. So apparently the movie takes on a continuity in which, yeah, the people from some of the people of the planet Earth knows about the predator species. For those who doesn't know, the predator from the franchise are these kind of hunting alien tribe that they just hunt whatever species they just they just want to hunt, specifically humans in this case, in order to extract their DNA from their spinal cord, and so they can apparently get their from what I can see, their strands, their strands and all this stuff, and they use it mostly for hunting because they are kind of like natural hunters that have some kind of code of honor. So that's pretty much the best I can describe a predator. I know the basics, but I'm not kind of like 100% into being perfect on the mythology of it. Alright, but the movie kind of apparently is about that two predator ships, they land on Earth. Apparently one of them was running away from a bigger one. And so so what happened is that the little predator, or let's just call it the normal predator. I'll get to that later. That normal predator apparently went to got something from the bigger predator, and it crash lands near a cartel, and he killed off a few snipers, except for one guy who survived the ordeal, and that guy is played by Boyd Holbrook, and apparently then he how can I say, he sends he apparently mails in secret some of the alien technology as evidence while he's been taken by apparently this secret CIA organization, and well, apparently because they just want to hide that he saw aliens, they just want to lock him up on a loony bin alongside other kind of apparently crazy people who are apparently by the biggest coincidence of them all, they have military experience, and they come off as being kind of like the most likable guys in a way, in a weird way. But also we got another branch in which they got this woman called played by Olivia Munn, and she goes into that secret scientist lab in which they catch that predator, the normal one, and they would just want to study and try to figure out where it comes from. They got all the gadgets and all this stuff, and then we got the other side in which we have the son of the character of Boyd Holbrook, which is this autistic kid who, yeah, he has Asperger's syndrome, he doesn't relate very well, and he's bullied by the typical 80s bully who is like, hey, Asperger's. And yeah, these are the horrible kids who, just for the fun of it, they just pull out a fire alarm and just to bully the kid, and because the kid can't defend himself and feels like, something like that. But apparently this kid, he receives the mail from his father, and he opens it because no one told him that he must not open things that are not his. And he sees the alien technology from the predator, and well, let's say that this kid, he apparently knows how to figure out everything about the technology of the predators. So apparently the kid kind of becomes a target. And lo and behold, all these three things, they kind of later mesh up together, and in a really, really, really weird way. How weird do I mean? This is when I begin to talk what is the biggest concern that this movie has. And that is the tonal whiplash that this movie has. I already said most of the time that I don't mind tonal shifts in any kind of movie, because sometimes when tones change, it's technically it's It's life. That's how life works. One day you have a happy day, you're walking on the street, and then someone goes and punch you in the face. And then your day is ruined. I don't mind that, but sometimes the tonal whiplash of this movie is, you can notice that it cannot make up its mind if it wants to be a super action hero thriller, a macho movie, or you're not gonna believe it. Probably 30 or 40% of the movie is a comedy. A comedy involving predators. And you can see that they kind of try too hard to go into the Marvel awkward conversation style of humor. Although I'm gonna give them credit that some of those dialogues, it is well done in some ways. Maybe because the actors they try their best, but but sometimes it feels that kind of out of place. I don't know if this is me or because they feel desperate to match Marvel. I mean, I don't mind. Sometimes imitation is is kind of like the most subtle way of what was the word again? It is the most subtle way of appreciation. Oh, no, I got it. Imitation is the most sincere form of flattery. I think that was the word, and the moral. No, the quote. Now that the way I talk, I can see why I couldn't hate most of the stuff that I usually could hate. In this case, the kid, because being a kid that is kind of autistic in a way, it kind of a little bit resemble me. I'm here telling you at the cameras that I am aware that I'm a little bit autistic. Although, in that spectrum, they take some elements way in the ridiculous level. But I'll say this on the get-go. I like how they treated this autism bullshit a little bit more entertainingly better than this bullshit movie called The Darkness. Okay, so we have these typical characters that probably you might find in some kind of Marvel movie. They join in together because this normal sized predator, he escapes, tries to find the kid, kills people in the most brutal way ever, which I'm glad that they don't hold back on the gore. And this predator, apparently it wants to find the kid and give out something, some kind of... Apparently, from what I could understand, is that it wanted to give out a gift to the humans, or sometimes like a warning that there is a bigger predator after him, because apparently there is this normal-sized predator, and there's this uber huge predator that they belong in different factions, in which one of them here's what I can deduce. One of them wants to protect the humans and doesn't want to. He wants to hunt them, in the old-fashioned way, and the other, it wants kind of like extract their DNA, become more powerful, because the Uber one is kind of like he kind of doped himself with other DNA to become even stronger. Although that kind of begs the question, if the normal predator wanted to help, why did it start it off by killing a lot of people? Oh, and speaking of killing, don't think that the kid goes off scot-free. There was this scene in which the kid, he takes off the predator helmet for trick-or-treating because he thinks it was cool. He gets bullied by these stupid kids, and then while trick-or-treating, this frat boy comes out and say, "Hey, trick-or-treat, mother F!" And he throws him a beer can, which hits the predator helmet. and then it activates a self-defense mechanism in which a blaster cannon appears out of it, and then it blows the frat guy to a million pieces. And I'm surprised that the kid is not kind of like face out like saying, "Oh my god, I kill a guy." He just look at this bullies who were stunned, and he just take the mask and he like, eh, ah! So we got that. Then that boy Holbrook, he is joined with Olivia Munn and these other crazy kind of crazy military people, and they go in their quest to find his son because he has the alien technology that technically the predators are looking for him, and also they are on the run because the military scientist guys, they just want to shoot them. They even want to shoot Olivia Munn for no apparent reason. Maybe because, hey, you know too much. That's what probably that they want her. But then it is kind of in the middle point that apparently you kind of notice that they didn't know what to do with the stories. And we get presented that, hear me out. I don't know if I don't remember if they show it in the other movies or in the comics or something like that, but apparently there are these alien dogs who they fight, of course, and we also see that there's also a scene with the kid in which he finds out this I think it was a Rottweiler dog, a pretty CGI Rottweiler dog. And after the fight with the aliens and still on the run, then comes off the part that personally is the most nonsensical thing of the whole movie. And that is that apparently one of those alien dogs kind of went and befriends Olivia Munn. Yeah, they got an ally, an unexpected ally. It doesn't explain why, it doesn't explain how. It's almost like a scene is missing. And I was like, okay, where did this come from? Someone explain to me how the hell that happened? It's getting kind of stupider, in which later the military scientists appeared, and apparently they take the kid because he has this very high autistic spectrum. He knows he knows from his mind how to draw a map leading them to the big predator spaceship. Oh, I forgot to mention that at that point the normal predator trying to save the others, he was killed by the uber predator. That I forgot to mention. So they take the kid to where this alien is, and by the way, the leader of this scientist military guy is none other than what was the name of the actor? Sterling K. Brown. No, Sterling K. Hold on a second. Yes, it was Sterling K. Brown. Is this guy who, if you thought that the bullies was kind of like overacting, you should see this guy. He's like, what will happen if you try to make Kevin Hart a villain? I don't know why. It was kind of like, really? Really? I mean, when they're inside the spaceship, the guy, he kind of hears the kid saying this really cheesy lines, and the kid is like, my father will come. And this guy, being a total bully asshole, he's like, oh, he's gonna come to you. Oh, really? You think he's gonna come? He was Kevin Hart in the freak out of it. And then you thought, see what I mean? Sometimes even in the most serious part, it somehow turns out to become a comedy. And speaking of comedy, there are I kind of noticed two, kind of like three references to pop culture. One of them was from Haunted Mansion, and it's seeing a guy kind of says, "Oh, you see how the room is stretching." Yeah, this is a Haunted Mansion line that I remember. We also got the fan favorite "Get to the chopper" from the original Predator, and in the kid's room, I swear that I found that the kid had this Penny Arcade cardboard logo. It's the webcomic, just in case. And yeah, I saw the cartoon Gabe and Tycho in the background. Man, this kid, I wish I could have that. I wish I could have the cardboard logo and the cardboard characters of Penny Arcade. And by the way, continuing on, then we got those humans battling each other, and then finally this uber predator comes up, and apparently he gives them a timer by saying that, okay, you got 7 minutes to keep yourselves together, run along, because I'm gonna hunt them after that time. I want their leader. The leader is, of course, the predators always hunt kind of like the bravest warrior in their mythology. In this case, they choose the Boyd Holbrook. And then apparently the humans who were at odds with each other were like, okay, let's nonchalantly join up together to battle this guy. So suddenly the movie kind of shifts gears into the climax, in which for its movie credits for an action movie, it was pretty entertaining, despite some of the weird stuff that is kind of happening. I mean, we had to deal with a lot of a very messy script to get to that point, and then we get the character getting killed. All unlikable and likable characters. I mean the Sterling K. Brown guy, he gets killed in the most ridiculous way you could ever imagine. It's gonna be a little bit of a mouthful to tell you, but let's say that it's not the Predator who killed him. He killed himself, and not by suicide. It was because of some stupid thing that I was like, what? Then the other crazy guys, they're getting killed. Some of them died here. Most of them actually died heroically. And for the movie's credit, as much as these guys were kind of making jokes here and there, I mean, and having this kind of one-note but very extreme personalities, I kind of actually care for when they died. I mean, that I'll give them the credit. That it made me care for some of those characters. I mean, who would love, for example, this kind of like this cool guy named Nebraska, played by what was it, Trevante Rhodes. There was another guy who who kind of crack up kind of like bad jokes, which pisses off another guy who has Tourette syndrome, because sometimes he's gonna like, I want to cock, something like that. And another guy who kind of hit Olivia Munn. He was kind of like, he has this religious complex on himself. But you know what? They were likable, and when they started dying, you feel for them. because they were likable again. And I'll say that in the Nebraska character, he died like a hero. But still we have to deal with, you know, the typical action movie tropes that you find. Like, for example, hey, the bullets are not working on this thing. What should we do? Keep on shooting! Yeah, because you keep on shooting and probably you might hit a weak spot. It's kind of like they're asking that shooting either an uber alien or a spaceship, they're gonna go down eventually like it was a metal slug machinery. But keep in mind that at least in Metal Slug, we can buy it because one, it's a video game, you gotta break some rules, and number two, they're actually hitting weak spots. Okay, and then we got kind of like this stupid thing that, remember that I told him that they were looking for specimens to suck up their spinal fluid and so they can dope themselves to become more powerful. And they do it by taking the spinal cord of the bravest and the strongest warriors. Well, apparently this uber alien, he didn't want Boyd Holbrook. No. He didn't want it. He didn't want it him, even when he had the chance to kill him because he's a predator. He wanted his son, the autist kid, because apparently in their agenda, autist kids is the next phase of evolution. You know, that's the funny thing. I had a talk with my sister, and somehow, if I remember correctly or not, she kind of told me something similar. That's a way to make us feel better. We are much more intelligent in a way or another. I mean, I'm not gonna put a lot of doubt because there is a big tendency that people with autism they're generally smart, but not all the time. Sometimes you probably one can be autist, but at the same time he could be like the dumbest guy ever under actions. It is debatable. I wish I could debate a lot more into that. And to put it a little bit into fiction like that, I don't know if I want to call it insulting or flattering. But again, I like how they treated it a little bit better than the darkness. So yeah, we got this battle with the spaceship, and it comes down. They battle with the aliens, in which apparently then we got somehow Olivia Munn teleports some one way or another. The kid that is there. The boy fights the uber alien. We got also the dog, the alien dog that again he's somehow connected them for why reasons. So there, and the movie ends with our main character becoming captain. The kid gets his own desk in the scientist lab, and they apparently then they receive a present from the other faction of predators. And just when I thought that it was gonna be a xenomorph from Aliens or something more dangerous, we get trolled by one of the scientists apparently getting possessed by one of the the predator technologies, and it turns kind of like this cyborg predator, and then nope, then he goes back to normal because apparently they gave our main character an predator armor in case that they're gonna battle the other predator who are gonna target them. And I was like, what? And then we got the Predator theme. What the frick was that? I don't. You know what? I don't know if I want to call it one of the worst of the year, but I sure freaked that I was entertained. It's messy. I get it. It's a messy movie. They didn't even know what to do. They, again, granted, they wanted to build a cinematic universe. Well, they've kind of failed again. But you were close. You were close to being at least passable in a way. But you had to polish a little bit the story, or else it becomes kind of inconsistent. This is why many people are still complaining about the direction of the Predator slash Alien movies are. At least the Predator franchise is being treated a little bit better than the Alien franchise, because at least they're self-aware that we're just an action film. It's just a thriller, a sci-fi film. And we just want to make it as entertaining as it is. It doesn't come off as being pretentious like Prometheus or Alien Covenant tried to do. I don't know about you guys. You might call it disappointing. I just call it stupidly entertainment. Just treat it like a B movie, and then you're gonna get the most of it. Action, gore, blood, very B-listy movie. So if you want, so my recommendation, just go to this movie if you want to have some fun out of it, because the part that I just told you is nothing compared to if you have the experience. Not exactly you have to see it on the movie theaters. You can rent it, or you can just have some popcorn and go watch the movie in the movie theater. At least at the matinee, that will be fine. It's as close as stupid as the Meg was. So go enjoy it. If you're too nitpicky, I don't blame you. If you don't like it, that's okay. I understand. But a little bit of a word of advice. Probably they might be onto something. Maybe really autism is the next phase of evolution. Autism is gonna conquer the world.